Hello and welcome to another edition of the Royally Rich Lifestyle Show with me, Ian Pelham Turner.
And me, Helena Chard.
And as always, I'd like to thank all our team as well. Helena Castrati from ALB UK TV, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck from USA Global TV and Radio, Londres TV nowadays, Honey Calaria and Nancy Duane. Let's roll the titles and let's get on with the show. Well, Helena, you've got some more great royal news. Tell us.
We have. It's celebrations all round, Ian. Celebrations all round. It is the King and Queen's 20th anniversary. That's King Charles, Queen Camilla. And there's royal fever in Rome, in Italy. Chris Jackson released some wonderful photographs that he captured, and that was in Rome. I think it was in the British ambassador's property, and that's the gardens of the Villa Wolkonsky. Queen Camilla was wearing Lily of the Valley, which is, it's all about love. And it was really lovely to see them. They were giggling and having fun, and obviously it's the state visit, and there's pizza, pasta, there's policy. They arrived in Rome on Monday, and on Tuesday, there was a huge ceremonial welcome, which was absolutely beautiful, with the Palazzi Quernale, the special joint fly past, and that was obviously the red arrows, and it symbolises the two countries coming together and us sort of bonding with Europe, I think, is the main thing. And today was a really special day in that there was a big the black tie events this evening. I know that Charles has been in Parliament and doing his usual speeches that he does in both Italian and English. And lots of fun is had by all. I mean, there's lots of camaraderie. Lots of people have turned out very excited to see both King and Queen, which is always really lovely to see.
I was just going to say, how good is it as well that Charles speaks some Italian as well, to actually speak to them in their own language. I mean, he is a very progressive, I think, monarch these days.
He is. I think he's absolutely fabulous. And not to forget as well the Pilgrims of Hope, which is the Jubilee at the moment that is celebrated every 25 years. So that's a celebration. As I said, celebrations all round. So I'm just hoping that the rest of their time goes really well. I think there's lots of great history and culture that they're going to be investigating until they fly back. And moving on, I'm going to talk about something else, which is to do with Charles and Camilla, because I know that everyone's been speaking about it. I know Fox had been sending messages, what are the tricks, how comes King Charles and Queen Camilla get on so well? What's the medicine? What's it all about? I remember Queen Elizabeth saying, I think when they got married, how her son was home and dry, and marrying the woman that he truly loved, which I think was really special. But their love story goes back into the 70s when they first met. And I think they got married in 2005, was it? And that was a civil ceremony. And I think, a lot of it is to do with humour. If you see them out and about, they are always giggling. They get on so well because they're really, really good friends. They're very independent. And I do think that Queen Camilla is very supportive, as is Charles of her, but she is incredibly supportive. And I think if anything ever happens, I mean, he's not as highly strung as he used to be. Camilla is always there to solve things. So there we go. Plus, they have separate bedrooms. Now, is that the way forward in life? I don't know.
It is exactly the same. I think we were both together. We once visited Britannia, or was that me by myself?
No, I was there. That's great.
And then we were surprised because on Britannia, the Queen and Prince Philip both had separate bedrooms, and it was said that Philip liked to have the windows wide open summer and winter so that it was always cold, but perhaps that's why they had separate bedrooms.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think they're privileged that they have obviously a bedroom together too, but they both have separate bedrooms. And because they spend time apart doing various things, I know Camilla sees her family and friends. She's very gregarious, loves a good time. And Charles is obviously working a lot and values his time painting. So it's a really healthy relationship. Also to remember one thing, Prince Philip, although they'll be very happy that they got married, unfortunately, 2021, Prince Philip passed at the age of 99. So I'm sure that they think about him fondly. And moving on, something I've just heard, we've got Prince Harry in London at court. In fact, he was in court, but he's just been escorted outside of the court because there's a woman with his bodyguards, because a woman has sort of, I'm not too sure what this woman's done, but obviously she started shouting within the courtroom and they had to pause affairs. But he is over. This is to do with his legal battle. He's had a friend's wedding as well, I think, an old friend that he's missed the wedding, which is a shame. It would have been nice to hear that he's mixing with some of his old friends, but never mind. He's still fighting the decision which led to the reduction of his what do you call it? The reduction of his security. Yes. But it's to do with guns, isn't it? So he is looking at having the same security back. It's not that he won't get the security. It's just that it's just not automatic that he gets it. It's more of a bespoke service. So people will have to know when he comes into the country with his family. I think he needs to give at least 30 days notice. He is fighting. It's not, I think he was told that he couldn't appeal it, and I think this is what he's doing today, is fighting the appeal. So we know that King Charles has differing views to Harry. People have been asking us, why hasn't Harry met up with King Charles? What we do know is obviously King Charles was having his cancer treatments, and then the very next morning has flown out to Rome, so they haven't seen each other. What we know as well is it's cost the taxpayer at the moment in excess of £500,000, but he is absolutely raring to go. It's to do with RAVEC, and that's the committee, which is the protection of royalty and famous people, who have basically said they have come up with the fact that he's got a change of status because obviously he stepped down as a working royal and moved to the States, so things have to change. But Prince Harry is saying that, he absolutely should have automatic security. I think he actually feels inferior. I do think this goes back to childhood. And one thing I don't think people have been talking about is that if he is given this automatic police protection, it does, I think, almost guarantee him international protection, which means that obviously abroad, he'll be protected abroad and he won't have to pay for his security in any country. So if you think about it, that could be actually one of the main reasons why he's gunning for this. I don't know if you want to add anything in? Or?
I mean, it's always difficult to talk about these things because, in the past I was asked a comment when, not with Harry, but with William, and the children were being exposed by photography, by paparazzi, who were really in the boots of cars, and as they were playing in a park, the boot of the car would lift up and out would pop these long lenses, but from a distance those lenses could be really guns. And so the security around them then were really much affected because obviously one of them at least had to go and investigate what the situation is. So I think it's not, it's a situation where he is still, whether he's a working member of the royal family or not, I think it's neither here nor there. He is still seen as a royal person. And I think with that, basically the amount of terrorists around the world now who could very easily take a pot shot at him. Look at what happened to President Trump, and you know, by a whisker, he's still alive. So I think the reality at the moment is that there has to be a lot of consideration by the court. It's the second day of the court session at the moment, by the court, in order to actually protect him properly, because if something happened to him and he was assassinated because he hadn't had the proper protection, there would be a major outcry.
There would be, but people aren't saying you can't have police protection. You know, they're saying it just has to be looked into. If you can imagine it would mean that if he came over and did some filming with Netflix unannounced, that he'd automatically get police protection paid for by the everyday person, and you know, really that's not fair. So also it would allow him again to travel around the world with that protection, and no one's saying you can't have it, but you can't have everything, can you? You can't have everything going your way. I think we're in a slightly different world now when it comes to the lenses out of the boots of cars. But I know when we did that, when we were talking about it, it was quite rife, and that was only about 10 years ago, wasn't it?
And how we protected William at that time and spoke against all of that as well. I just think, you know, as I say, the realities are right now we live in a very dangerous world, and it's accepted we live in a very dangerous world right now. And I think, you know, there are so many terrorist groups out there that to actually get a scalp like Prince Harry, you know, whether he's protected or not, it would be a major sort of issues for them as well. And I think, you know, the reality is, I believe, me personally, that's my personal belief, that he should get constant protection.
But don't you think as well that the States, I would say, you know, he feels comfortable everywhere else bar the UK. So why is it more dangerous in the UK than it is in the States where he is, where he can just wander around and not have a worry? You know, it's a little bit of an imbalance.
Well, yes and no, because, I mean, you know, there's something like about 3,000 insurgents in Britain at any one time. And only one of them could cause, you know, an upset like that. It's a very delicate subject, and in fact, quite a bit of the court case this afternoon will be called what they call in camera. So in other words, that the public will not be able to see some of the proceedings, purely because they will be talking about specific security issues as well that really revolve around him at the same time.
I think just finally to say that the other reason why his father wouldn't have met up with him, and I think now Prince Harry probably realises as well why this is that it's something called legal jeopardy, because obviously really Prince Harry is taking his father's government to court, and if his father was seen to talk with him and advise him, again, it's legal jeopardy and he cannot divulge anything. So we hope, you know, that this is out of the way soon, and you never know. They may meet up soon.
Please
but yes, please. And moving on, this is something that excites me slightly, but I think there's something maybe a little bit weird about me. I really love looking at people's houses. I love seeing how people tick. I like seeing different decor in different, I don't know, different kinds of property in different locations. So I was pleased to hear this, which is, so Princess Beatrice, who actually lives in the Cotswolds with her husband and 2 daughters, and also stepson Wolfie, a beautiful place. It's absolutely, it's a sprawling farmhouse, 6 bedrooms, swimming pool, tennis courts, and more. But also she has a palatial place that we forget about in London as well. So she has an apartment, in fact, in St James's Palace. So does Princess Anne. And it's the first time this has happened, because it's normally a private residence and, in fact, a working palace, but has basically thrown open the doors to allow the public in for a couple of months, which I think is really exciting. So it's an exclusive tour, and to see the state apartments is amazing, and it's It's a 500-year-old the history behind it is amazing. It's been host to Queen Victoria's wedding, Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. King Charles was officially proclaimed there. There's so much. I think it was the home of Henry VIII as well. So much history. So lovely to see that we can actually go in and have a little browse. And it does make me think that possibly Prince Andrew, one day, Royal Lodge may become a place that people can have a little toodle around, because I think people would be very interested to see what was going on.
Especially what might be in his bedroom.
Yeah. And not to forget there's a wonderful little playhouse, a miniature house in the garden, which was gifted to the late Queen Elizabeth by the people of Wales, I think it is, which is a beautiful little thing. And I've always wanted to see it. So Prince Andrew, royal family, please, if you could do a tour for us, we would be very, very happy. Anyway, so that's a little bit of royal, but I'm just going to end on, and this is something that tickles me, and I think you, Ian, because obviously with our new people, we're working with TV Laundress, and we've heard, as everyone probably has heard, that the new continent for the Earthshot Prize is Brazil. So it's going to take place in Rio, which is really exciting. And we have Prince William and David Beckham, Kate Blanchett. They will all be shining a light on fabulous creative minds who are coming up with these wonderful inventions to heal our world, heal our planet. The mission is to catalyse innovation and spread urgent optimism around the world. And obviously Brazil's huge. And it's a great place to do it and spotlight these groundbreaking people that come up with solutions. So I think 15 environmentalists come together. 5 of those will win £1 million each to then roll out, upscale their invention. So thinking about it, I mean, how amazing is that? And it's been London, Boston, Singapore, Cape Town, and now Brazil. Amazing. So we look forward to that. That's going to be in November, but obviously we're working towards it, and there hopefully will be some exciting things that we'll be able to share with you shortly.
Excellent. Okay, well, now we're just going to take a short break, and then we're going to bring on our guest for today, Kostas Kapelas. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back now. So now we have Kostas Kapelas from the Total Health Now Clinic. Kostas, welcome.
Nice to see you. Hello to everyone.
So Kostas, the question I was going to start off with today is, obviously President Trump is causing all sorts of fear in Britain with businesses. Would you agree with that? And basically, how do businesses overcome fear in your estimation?
I'm going to give you an answer based off from the well-being perspective. Actually, it's not what Trump is doing, it's what stories we're saying in our mind and what actually impact we have. For me personally, other things happened before with COVID and other things. You need to let the dust settle and see what is the actual impact. A lot of the people, they get stressed straight away. They repeat what other people say. That stress, it shuts down the logical thinking. So for me, the way I deal, I'm just waiting the dust to settle. If you remember, he put tariffs in Canada and Mexico. It was a ploy, and then they came into the agreement. So people, they stress out, and then you might see in 15 days, they have a deal and said, oh, we remove them. So imagine how much damage is done to their health by worrying all of these things. I'm not saying not to worry, but make a plan, but to deal with them, but at the same time, be aware that nothing might happen because they will come into a deal. I think you use it as a leverage. I still plan a backup. I have a plan, but that's my take into that. Wait the dust to settle rather than do any jerk movements. It's not good for their health.
Okay.
So you are a holistic health professional.
Correct.
And I imagine you get lots of people who are really stressed out that come to you. wanting to know, how they can make themselves feel better. How does the process start if they come to you? What do they expect?
The first thing, the way we work is people that book a 30 minutes consultation, complimentary, sometimes can take more. It's very important to understand what is their issue, why they have the issue, and what is their expectation. So we start with a call. And the reason for that is people that are stressed out, but most of the people think, oh, it's because what I eat, or it's because the stress at work. But it's a synergy of things. So yes, you might have stress at work, but if you do some eating healthier, if you sleep properly, you don't stay late with the phone the night, there is a lot of little things that have an impact on the stress and can make it worse. So it's a synergistic approach that we have. So this is the first step. We have a chat, and then we take it from there. And important thing for everyone who's listening is when you go to see a health practitioner, even a doctor, if you are scared, if you buy something because of fear, then it's not the correct thing. Because if you're in fear, the body's self-healing mechanism, it closes down. With the holistic health, we're looking to help the body to self-regulate, self-heal itself. So if you're in a stress mode, if you're scared because the practitioner scared you, then it shuts down the body's self-healing mechanism. So for us, is we want to give clarity, so they're taking any decision from empowerment and understanding what is happening and what they need to do, rather than, oh, you have this problem, you need to do this, otherwise this will happen. So that goes against the body's self-healing mechanism. Does it make sense?
It does. So it's almost like you're in harmony.
Correct,
really.
correct. In harmony. We want to bring the body back in harmony. Remember, the body knows how to repair itself. You cut your hand, it's going to start repairing. You have a bug, a virus, it's going to bring up the temperature to fight it. So the only reason the body and the mind they cannot repair is because there is too many physical, emotional, environmental stressors that the body spends a lot of energy trying to deal with them. Plus, what is the starting point? Some people will start with a bad health here, but if you start further up when you're in a good health, it's easier to maintain. So whatever you do, make sure you eliminate or reduce drastically the stressors so the body has more energy to repair itself, and then have a focused treatment on the areas that you have a problem, and then it's a synergy and the body will start repair. Obviously it sounds easy, but then you need a bespoke treatment. It's not the same medicine or treatment will fit all.
Now, I know you work with a lot of celebrities and professionals, and you do a thing called the MOT. Tell us, what is the MOT?
As you know, in the UK, you have the car MOT, that you're not allowed to go on the streets unless you have the paper once a year. So we say health MOT, where basically with the health MOT, we're looking the lifestyle. First of all, we have about 7 pages of questionnaires. We need to, from eating, stress, electropollution. People don't realize the electromagnetic radiation has an impact. So we look in all the lifestyle. Then they come at the clinic and we use biofeedback equipment. So basically we can see exactly with kinesiology, bioresonance, and other things, what exactly affects the person. Let's give you an example, can I? Let's say stomach issues, digestive issues. Actually, let's say the muscles, pain on the shoulders, a lot of people have there. Did you know that there is 5 muscles, every muscle is connected to an organ. So there is 5 muscles in there related to the stomach. So if someone has, let's say, has a lot of stress, and that the stress affects the stomach, there is a nervous system, so the pain on the muscles can be because of the emotional stress. For someone else, it will be because they're very busy and eating junk food, so they don't eat healthy food. So the energy meridian where they put the needles in acupuncture relates to the muscle. So it can be the eating too fast or eating the wrong food. So different people, same problem, but different root cause. So we need to address what is causing the issue in addition to the lifestyle. So it's basically a very bespoke, personalized health MOT, looking all the emotional, physical, environmental stressors and what causes the current issues, and then we provide a 360% advice. And I finish with that. Plato said, it's Greek, it's my inheritance, the part cannot heal unless the whole it's well. Everything works together. It's an ecosystem. But mainly with allopathic medicine, oh, you have a problem, you need that product for the rest of your life. Yes, it can suppress the symptoms, but it can cause other symptoms because it's messing up with the body's biochemistry, and you don't know what impact it will cause because, yeah, you cannot do the test what a chemical can cause to an individual.
It makes sense when you explain it. It's very clever, I have to say, Kostas. It's great. Is there anything that led you to go into this?
Oh, absolutely.
I wonder what your...
I came to the UK in '97 and I worked for the hospitality, worked for Claridge's, Rolls-Royce, event managers, assistant events managers at Claridge's, Rolls-Royce, Warner Brothers catering manager, busy environments, and I was working 16, 17 hours and I messed up my health, my gut, ridges on the nails, hair, and I was just looking for a solution. And I came very fit in the UK because I came from Greece countryside. So then as I would start looking for solutions, I was really, really blessed. I found out that when it comes to health, it can be emotional, nutritional, structural, energetic. So when I found that, I started doing different courses. I've done over 30 health modalities. So as I was doing that, waking up my passion for health, and then I just changed career. It's worth mentioning that my mom doing some kind of healing. It was a primary school lady, but she was doing with prayer and clearing people the energy when they didn't feel well. And my grandmother, it seems it was in the DNA, and then my own health issues triggered that, which was a blessing because I have two kids, 17 and 14 years old, and I just learned what it looks a disaster for me. That gave me the knowledge to grow up a healthy family. If I didn't do that, then I wouldn't have the family that I have now. So everything is a blessing in a disguise.
Absolutely. Now you talk about a Rejuva system as well, a Rejuva detox. Tell us about that.
Yes, that's one. It was one of the core systems that we brought along. That was developed from the Italians, the Italian doctors back in 1994. So people waste a lot of money for detox, weight loss, where they're losing muscle, they lose water. So when people look to lose weight, they need to measure on a specific scale how much water they lose, how many inches, how much fat. So with that system, which is one of the tools, basically we help people to bring down the inflammation and detoxify the gut. So we have a hybrid version. So basically what you do, imagine you have, not imagine, it's true, we have the small intestines, it's like a lot of tubes, and there, because of wheat, dairy, throughout the years, there is like a lot of rust, like the pipes, the water pipes, they have rust. So that, you cannot absorb the nutrients, there is inflammations, you have intolerances. So what you need to do, and what we do with that system and the rest of the knowledge, we're softening that mucoid plaque, we call it. So you're cleansing supplements, then with the device, the portable or the in-person, the clinic, that it breaks that, that mucoid plaque, and then you have an inflammatory diet, and then it's pushing that out. People that lost, we have 25 pounds in 1 month. Usually they lose minimum 10 pounds of fat, not muscle and water, and they eat as much as they like, and but they don't train a lot to push, because the body is stressed, it holds on the fat. So it's a completely upside down system comparing to what you see on Facebook, YouTube. Take that pill, take that injection, and you're gonna get well. No, the body works holistically, and yeah, that's a very strong tool, but it's conjunction with the other things that we educate: lifestyle, stress, etc. But it's very successful. We have amazing case studies.
Amazing, amazing. I love listening to all of this. It's exciting. You have this system, is it ENERGY? Is this what you're discussing?
Energy system.
Is that?
Yes. So basically the energy system, everyone, because there's so much information and from products, protocols, services, we need to put it into a structure. So the energy system is the delivery system of all the other services. So when people have a health issue, it can be nutritional or chemical from the food they eat, the toxins, emotional, environmental, physical, training, breathing, etc., and spiritual. So this, it breaks down in a lot of categories, but we put that into the energy system, so which means they can, it's all written on the website, people, they can go there, but basically it's a step by step. We evaluate you, assessment, then neutralize the stressors, so then the body doesn't spend the energy to deal with the wrong choices, rebuild, so everything is, it's the delivery system of all the philosophy and the things that we're doing behind the scenes.
Excellent. And I know you do lots of different therapies. So one of them is called the bioresonance. Tell us about the bioresonance.
Yeah, that one is, it's been around for over 40 years, and a changed for different devices. So what is happening, this is really fascinating. Some people, they don't know that these things exist, and some people, they buy specifically, they find as they come for that because they've done a lot of research. So that basically what you do, the body has an energy field. So anything before it manifests on the physical level, it starts on the energetic level. So you have, with this kind of devices, you can catch it even when it's on the energetic level. You can see if it's on the physical, and then you can correct it there, so then it doesn't get more difficult to correct it. Now, what I'm going to say for people who are listening, there are plenty of machines, some of them they're not even bioresonance, they call all bioresonance. Look for medical devices, but also anything that looks on the building biology. Most of the devices, they're connected into the plug, and then it creates EMF, electropollution, which then can affect the results. So I don't want to get into the details, but make sure whatever the test, it is a medical device, if possible, and that they can check the building biology, because that has a massive impact on people's health, and they're not aware of that. They're just giving pills. Oh, this is what the machine said, you get that. But for us, it's very, very bespoke, manual, rather than automatic.
Thank you. I know that you're award-winning. Do you work on your own, or do you have a team?
We started the business with myself and my wife, but we have a team of trusty partners that we send to them. So it can be from colon hydrotherapy, dentist, like and massage, etc. But it's so important that we understand how the whole thing works. For example, the dentist, all the organs, the teeth, they're connected to the meridians. So when people have root canals, or they have plaque fillings, the toxicity, they can have an impact on their body. So it's not just enough to go to any dentist. You need to go to a dentist biological who can remove the things without, let's say, the mercury spread into the body. Or if they're going to put any implants, the implants not to be a metal, they need to be zirconium, so they will not interfere with the rest of the organ. So that advice, and knowing which are the right practitioners, for me, I think it's as important as people using our services. It's priceless, because it can cost a lot of money and a lot of damage if you don't have the right advice. Yeah. So yes, we work with others.
Thank you.
And you say you're redefining prosperity in business and on business as well. Just explain that to us.
Yes, I've been in business, as I said, since '97, and I work in busy environments as catering manager, and I've seen how sick people they were. I knew who's going to go for a cigarette, for a coffee, what time they're going to come, because they couldn't function. We call it they were in homeostasis. If you remove the cigarette or the coffee, they cannot function. They think they're healthy, but they're not in harmony. They're in homeostasis, they need those things. So for me, it's they have applications, they have talks. We need therapeutic wellness. So like in some businesses, they have people come to do the massage. Okay, but the massage alleviates the symptoms, but you need to have MOT for the employees, having an award to say the ones who are gonna improve the most, having metrics, then they can win a holiday or they can win something else. And because then you have the people, the employees, they stay loyal, They will be so impressed. Wow, look what the business done for us. And also, on the statistics on another event that I've done recently, they have 44 days of lost productivity because of people, they were not 100% at work. They were sick. They were at work, but they couldn't perform the most. So it's more economic for the businesses to do therapeutic wellness and keep them loyal and at peak condition. It's very pioneering, but it can be done, and I'm committed to that because I do business networking for over 9 years, and I can see businesses suffer massively for bad health.
I was just about to move on to that. So you were a BNI member?
Yes, I've been 9 years, Business Networking International, it's been 40 years, but I'm a director as well. So, you know, it's like a marketing strategy, but also at the same time, it's building relationships because you need to have these relationships before you actually need people. And my vision was, since I joined, it was just to do in the businesses. I can see the gap there, and I know the stressors. I'm a business owner and as well. So yeah, building those relationships, and then when we launch it in a bigger scale in the businesses, then we'll have all the contacts.
Just to say, so it's just fascinating that how, you know, if you've got a small business, and obviously to keep hold of your employees and keep them well, if they work with you, then it's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? It makes complete sense.
Correct, because it's not only their health, it's the health of the people at home. I saw people left as members because the kids were very sick, they had problem after problem, and you know, when you know sometimes the solution, but the people that will not listen, what we need to do is, you don't need to convince people, you just need, I think, look normal, I think I look normal, and have a family, and talk for logical things. This happened. Then they see that you've done this for your business, for your family, and then you inspire them and say, well, it must be something else. And I can tell you, after COVID, more and more people, they're just looking for more holistic alternative. We're not alternative, we're just holistic, because what we do, most of the things developed by doctors. So more and more people looking into that, and we just need to inspire them.
Exactly.
Giving some examples we've never heard, not the same things. We're very original and authentic because it's a synergy of different things. It's not just one modality, it's all about emotions, because that's what I know. So it's a synergy.
Absolutely. And we both met through the United Peace Federation. So just talk very briefly about what value UPF has brought to you as well. And
now that's very interesting. I have the energy and the curiosity to do a lot of things, and I believe that anything that happens in life, it happens for a reason. So when they invited me to go to UPF, I went to the UPF, and then because having the mentality from business networking, I saw what was the gaps. I gave my advice there to the organization. I became an ambassador for peace, and now running the chair with the events. So for me, what I like there, it was the values of the organization, how it started, and the emphasis they put on the family, because we say, there is a saying in Greece, the apple will fall under the apple tree. So if you don't have a strong family and values, then that is going to impact the kids in their life, and these kids are going to become a leader. So having the not strong family values, then it's going to affect the whole building, the society. So yeah, it seems there was a synergy there, and people say, oh, I'm busy for this, I'm busy for that. If you need the task done, give it to a busy person, is the saying. So I quite enjoy being around the right people, the right tribes, you can say, and we'll see where it will lead. But this is how I met you.
Absolutely,
So,
and Helena's a peace ambassador as well now.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, it's interesting, very interesting. And you're inspiring, it's great, because you can really feel that energy that you give, and you can, you know, the ripple effect, definitely.
For that, I'll tell you something, you're going to smile, is the word enthusiasm, which means theos, God inside of you, which basically, when you're on purpose, then that enthusiasm flows. And what people they buy the energy. I want a piece of that energy. I can tell you the best things, but at the end of the day, it's that gut feeling and how you feel after spoke to someone. So we need always to work on ourselves for the sake of our family and the employees. People buy energy. Treat everyone like they're psychic, and they can not read your mind or read your energy. It's how you make them feel.
And finally, how can people get in contact with you?
They can go to the website totalhealthnow.co.uk, and they can ask a question, or they can just book the 30 minutes health and energy review. It's complimentary. They complete some questions there, and then we're there to advise and guide them what is needed. We don't use fear, as I mentioned at the beginning, because it shuts down the body's self-healing mechanism, and it's not ethical. We want people, you're looking for the long term, and a long-term relationship only lasts if you start on the right foot and empower them rather than scare them.
Kostas, thank you so much for your time today. As always, a brilliant speaker as well. And we look forward to having you again soon. So thank you.
You're most welcome. Thank you as well for the invite.
Thank you very much. So we're just going to finish off the show now. So that was a great show.
Inspiring, loved it.
Good
really
royal
good.
news, and then the inspiring Kostas
I know,
Kapelas.
I'm going to take myself and sort myself out, I think.
I think
Kostas
so as
is
well.
going to help me.
Absolutely. So, as always, can I just thank a few people? Can I thank Helena Castrati from ALB UK TV? Can I thank Dr. Jacqueline Kerback from USA Global TV and Radio? And can I thank our new people that we're working with, which is TV...
Laundress. Laundress TV, fabulous that we're working with them. So, and we're looking forward to, we're starting some great waves that we will, it's a surprise. It's a surprise.
Lizzie, can I just do it again? Sorry. My fault.
It's all right.
Okay. So wasn't that a fantastic show again today?
Loved it. Feel very inspired. Speaking to Kostas, I'm going to take him up and do my test and see what's wrong, get myself feeling well.
Absolutely.
So, thankful.
Well, it was wonderful. And he brought a wonderful energy to the show this afternoon as well. So, as always, can I thank Helena Castrati from ALB UK TV? Can I thank Dr. Jacqueline Kerback from USA Global TV and Radio as well? And really now with Laundress TV, our new provider, and that's going to give us an even bigger and better audience. So for me, Ian Pelham Turner. And from me, Helena Chard. Have a great week and see you again next week. Bye. Bye-bye.